Okay, guys. So here's a 17-year-old amateur's guide to fixing that fucking Spurs game we just watched, okay? So let's go ahead and start off with the basics. Let's just get straight into it, okay? I just want to mention this. For the most part of this game, we ran fucking zone defense against the New York Knicks. Now, for those of you at home who don't know why this is idiotic, let me explain to you. The Knicks happen to have one of the best perimeter shooters in the league. They have Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Miles Bridges, and more coming off their bench, who are all great at the three-point shot. So, for one, that doesn't make sense. So explain to me this. Why did Mitch Johnson decide it was a great idea to abandon basic basketball? Okay, so let's talk about this. Why, many times during this game, did Wembanyama, our 7'4" center, end up guarding Jalen Brunson, a amazing three-point shooter and clutch, on the key? What? How does that make sense? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, okay? Look, if we're in a situation where a fast break is happening, maybe that's not so much of an issue, given that Wemby's gonna have to pick someone up, and if Jalen Brunson's open, what's the issue, Mark? What's the issue? Okay, there is no issue there. You gotta do what you gotta do on a fast break. But here's the issue. We're sitting here on regular transition, and none of our guys seem to know when to get there. Why is Wemby not on Mitchell Robinson, who happens to be right under the basket? So what happens is Wemby decides to follow Jalen Brunson up to the top, and Mitchell Robinson is sitting right here waiting for the shot to go right to him. Okay, you think that's bad. Let's talk about the issue with the zone defense. Alright? The zone defense is an issue because half of the Knicks roster outside of Karl Anthony Towns and Robinson is great fast shooters. They will shoot in a second. You have no time to have a Julian Champagnie run all the way to the corner to try to contest Josh Hart or Miles Bridges. Okay, now let's talk about the issue with the man defense that we were running almost the entire game. For some reason, Mitch Johnson insisted on doubling Jalen Brunson. I'm sitting here watching Steph Castle absolutely guard the shit out of this guy, and then Miles Bridges sitting in the corner over here. Miles Bridges sitting in the corner over here, getting guarded by Julian Champagnie, and Champagnie goes to key to help with Brunson. And what does Brunson do? Well, he uses 2 brain cells and gives it up to fucking Miles Bridges. And what does Miles Bridges do? He shoots and the shit's green. Okay, let's talk about the issues with Mitch Johnson in his coaching for Wemby. Wemby, for some reason, loved to follow Mitchell Robinson outside of the paint. Now listen, if this was Karl Anthony Towns, Mr. Fruity, that would be a great idea, because Karl Anthony Towns shoots like 30% from three-point. Mitchell Robinson doesn't shoot at all. In fact, for anyone who watched the game, we were hacking him for the first quarter. Do you know how bad of a free throw shooter you have to be in order to get hacked in the NBA Finals? Terrible! And the 2 shots that he did shoot that actually went in, and the reason we stopped hacking him, only went in because of lucky bounces. He's actually horrible. Why are we sitting here? Why is he following out the paint? So, I don't know if Mitch Johnson knows this, but this is what should happen. If Wemby's guarding Karl Anthony Towns, then yes, follow him out of the paint to the perimeter, because Karl Anthony Towns shoots amazing. If Wemby is following Mitchell Robinson, how about we do this? Mitchell Robinson leaves, and Wemby stays in the paint and lets him do jack shit on the perimeter because he probably shoots 2% from the perimeter and stay in the paint. And for everyone at home who's saying, oh, he can't stay in the paint. Oh, well, at the same time, they had someone crashing the board, whether it was Jalen Brunson or Josh Hart. So as long as Wemby switches onto them, he's good to stay there for as long as there's someone else is there. You know, basketball. Let's go ahead and jump to the end of the game real quick. A lot of people see Wemby go and throw the ball to Steph Castle, who's turned around. Okay, sure, terrible mistake from Wemby. No defending that. On the sideline, stupid Mitch Johnson is telling Castle to go. Now, once again, for everyone who's listening at home right now and doesn't know basketball, it is not normal for a 7'5" guy to be bringing the ball up court. It's basic basketball. Okay, but that's not the only issue. Mitch Johnson tells Castle to go. Obviously, he's not going to be looking towards Wemby. He's going to be running. But that's not the only issue. Mitch Johnson also forgets that the Spurs have one time out on the clock. There is 10 seconds left. 10 seconds. It will take 3 seconds to get across the court. Now, you guys might be saying, okay, well, it was the last possession, so why would it matter anyway? Okay, well, let me explain this to you. 1. Calling a timeout makes the transition defense useless, because you don't have to worry about Wemby throwing the ball to his teammates back. No, you don't have to worry about that. In fact, you don't have to worry about any transition defense. The only thing you have to worry about is letting your 7'5" god rest, and then game planning a perfect final shot. You have 10 seconds left. That gives you time to game plan. That gives you time to assess fouls. It gives you time for everything. It gives you so much time. And at the base of it, the big base of it, it gives you time to eliminate the transition defense in whatever the Knicks could have planned. Sure, if Wemby would have given it to Castle, it would have worked. However, when you have your idiotic coach on the side who's telling your small to go away from your 7'5" center, he will not be looking at him. Now look, is Wemby dumb for that? Of course. However, it is not completely impossible to understand that a center is going to be looking for one of his smalls. It's basic basketball. Okay, now let's get to this. I'm not sure if Mitch Johnson told them to do this, but based off his track record, I will. The score is tied 104-104. Wemby turns over the ball. Jalen Brunson now has the ball. They are in the bonus. Why not let him, with 8 seconds left, just go for the shot instead of fouling and giving him almost 2 guaranteed free throws? Now, I understand Jalen Brunson missed this, and some people might watch this part of the video and disagree, but to me, a free throw shooter like Jalen Brunson should not be the one who you put on the line. Why not foul someone else who is a less likely free throw shooter? Now let's talk about the offensive issues, okay? For one, De'Aaron Fox, although he locked in at the end of the game, for most of the game, he was taking the same bullshit bank shot. Now listen, this is an extremely high percentage shot, so really, there should be no issue. However, De'Aaron Fox seems to forget that he can't do that. So, instead, you may ask, De'Aaron Fox, why aren't you just simply floating it in? It's a higher, chance shot. So why would you not just float it, especially after you miss 2 of them? But no, De'Aaron Fox will not do that. Okay, what's the other issues with the offense? For one, Steph Castle over here, amazing guy, a 20% three-point shooter, took almost all of our second half three-point attempts. And the moment we drove away from him and started letting Vassell and Champagnie shoot, we actually made a comeback and went up on them. But no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to let our small forward take all the shots. You know, the one who hits 20%. If y'all are wondering why this is bad, the league average is about 35%. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Wembanyama, amazing player. He is 7'5" and gifted. So it makes you ask, why did he have such a piss-poor game? Okay, here's the issue. Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson were following him almost the entire game. Yet, never once did Mitch Johnson try to play off of Wemby's gravity. When Wemby was sitting by the basket, Mitch Johnson was having people like Harper drive into him. Why? I don't know. It's not very smart, because not only do you have a 7'5" guy there now who is on your team, but will still be an issue if you're trying to go around him, if you're trying to go around him. The other issue is you now have either Karl Anthony Towns or Mitchell Robinson, almost 7-footers themselves, sitting right under the basket waiting to block it. So instead, here's my question. Why not have Wemby right here play under the hoop and have any one of your great three-point shooters go over to the perimeter? Now you might be saying, well, it's because they're getting guarded, so their enemy is going to go with them. That's why you drive forward. Mitchell Robinson has a choice now, because your enemy will be trailing you. Mitchell Robinson has the choice now. Fall off of Wemby and give him an open shot, or give your perimeter shooter an open shot. Now, depending on who this is, whether this is Vassell or Champagnie, this could end up amazingly. If it's someone like Castle or Fox, it's a much lower percentage chance, but it's better than going next to two 7-footers and trying to shoot over them. Now, let's talk about the foul baiting. I'm a Spurs fan. I love this team. However, when I see my players go to the rim for the 8th time, and even though they might be getting fouled, but since they just sit there and fall to the floor and it doesn't work for the 8th time, then they should not keep doing it. It is basic knowledge that Tony Brothers is one of the worst refs in the league. That's a fact. However, as a coach, you should know Tony Brothers does not call stuff like that. Basic fouls are not a guaranteed with Tony Brothers. That's part of the coaching staff's knowledge. This is the last thing I'm going to go into unless I remember something. The final play of the game, we were in a situation like this. De'Aaron Fox has the ball. I believe it was Miles Bridges right here. This is about a good 3 feet distance between the two. Although this is above averagely long for De'Aaron Fox to be shooting, it is still a better idea than waiting 5 seconds, then giving the ball to your 7'5" center who goes and shoots a fade away. Question mark, why is the question? Well, there's no good answer for it, because Mitch Johnson is an idiot. What should have happened was either give it to Champagnie, a higher three-point shooter in the corner, or even Vassell. Or De'Aaron Fox could take this far shot. Best case scenario, it goes in, and now you have to defend the Knicks for 3 seconds, up 2 points. Or he misses, you foul them, and then you have at least 5 seconds to go and get a better shot, hoping that they miss the 2. Those are your 2 options here. Wembanyama may have clinched the playoffs with a shot like that one. However, this is the NBA Finals. The pressure is higher, and Wemby, this is his first time being here. He does not have the same self-control that every other person there has. Mitch Johnson should be fired. These are not difficult things to fix as a coach. This is high school hoops, Mitch Johnson. I doubt he'll ever see this, but if he does, this video is coming out of hate. This is not coming out of rage for us losing. If we lost to the Knicks because they were the better team, that would annoy the fuck out of me, but it wouldn't be this. This is not cope. I understand that all of our guys did stupid shit tonight, but when at the deep down depths of this, these have been season-long issues. Blowing leads have been season-long issues that Mitch Johnson has been unable to address. Every single time Greg Popovich, a man who has had a stroke and is in physical therapy to recover from it and has not focused greatly on basketball in years. Every single time he talks to our guys, they come out blazing. Half of his body is gone. I don't understand how his brain is, but I'd imagine when you have a half stroke, it's not completely up to par. This is not me making fun of him. This is clearly stating the facts. A man who is half paralyzed and has so many other things to focus on rather than basketball can go watch the game from his TV and not interact with any of these guys, is able to fix the issues better than your head coach. Mitch Johnson has been carried by an amazing team this season with clutch moments and an even better assistant coach who is going to leave us next year, by the way. So we're going to see what Mitch Johnson can truly do. Not being able to adjust towards defense and offense in the NBA Finals is not acceptable. That is not advanced coaching stuff. You do not let a team go 3 quarters with the exact same offense and continue to play zone defense when it's not working. The Knicks never once adjusted their offense tonight. They simply waited for us to stop doing what worked. Mitch Johnson, I hate you. If we lose this series, which at this point we likely will, I do not want to see your face in the San Antonio Spurs organization again. I do not care if we pay you. Get out of the city. You are not welcome here. You have been glazed this entire season because of your accolades, but in reality, you just have a super team that is about to lose the NBA Finals because of 2 games of your idiotic coaching decisions. Why do you not call timeouts when the team is on a run? Are you being paid by Vegas? Likely. Why do you not call timeouts when there are a couple seconds left in the game? Although, in that game 2 against the Timberwolves, the game 1 against the Timberwolves, Julian Champagnie had a wide open 3. That is simply a fluke. That does not happen in 85% of last second fast breaks. I'm not calling myself an expert. In fact, I'm worse than amateur. But that shows to me how much better a 17-year-old with no coaching experience besides a JECA tournament basketball game. That shows how much further ahead he is than your head coach. If you put me against Mitch Johnson with the exact same prep time he has, assuming that I can get taught by Popovich just like how he did for years, I will be a miles better head coach. He's done nothing but ruin this team. He doesn't know how to play the roster, and we have young guys who are extremely talented whom nobody knows how to counter, and he will not use them. He has pulled Harper off the court multiple times when he's hot for no reason. Mitch Johnson, you are not welcome here. Even if we win this championship, you made it as difficult as possible for our players to do it. If we win anything within the next 5 years as you are our coach, it will be in spite of you.